The idea of running trains beneath central Auckland is almost a century old. An underground deviation was first proposed in the 1920s, then shelved, revived, and shelved again across 4 decades. At $5.5 billion, it is the largest transport infrastructure project New Zealand has ever built. Kia ora, I'm Federico Monsalve. I'm the Editor-in-Chief of Architecture Aotearoa. For this issue, we take an exclusive architecture and design look at the new stations for the City Rail Link. 3 stations require considerable consensus and collaboration between architects, engineers, city officials, and mana whenua. The 3 firms involved in the CRL project were Grimshaw, Jasmax, and WSP Architecture.
My name is Gosha Haley. I'm a principal at Grimshaw Architects.
We looked after the entire design of the stations, but there was a particular part with the system-wise design. It creates more safe and legible environment to move through. So, especially when you travel rarely on the public transport, you want to have calm and well-organized spaces. So the language was across all of the different, both flooring, walls, ceilings, external facades. The particular one that you can probably see the most is the unitized aluminium system across all of the 3 stations that has a 1500 module, and that module is consistent. So there was a lot of orchestrating involved to getting all of this to aligned technical requirements, buildability, and the design to create spaces for people and places that people can be proud of.
Maungawhau Station in Auckland's Mount Tidden is one of 3. This is the station that stays above ground. Inside, the palette is sophisticated but deliberately tough. Precast concrete, aluminium, steel and glass, timber and stone. The entrance wall here runs floor to ceiling in patterned precast concrete with basalt inserts. 53 lava-colored cast glass triangles are set into it, arranged as a map of the volcanic cones across Auckland. The large central triangle is Maungawhau itself. The water is a reference to the basalt caverns, caves and freshwater springs below the mountain, and to the way water needs rock in order to flow. Looking above, the copper-colored ceiling carries a Niho Taniwha pattern, the teeth of the Taniwha, formed through repeated triangles in perforated aluminium with featured lighting. The Karanga-a-Hape Road station sits 33 meters underground, driven down through the ridge that gives the road its height, with platforms 203 meters long.
Kia ora, I'm Stefan Gielan. I'm WSP Architecture's National Studio Lead and the CRL Deputy Architecture Lead. Engineering is often an invisible partner to architecture, hidden behind the bits that you and I experience. I think the public would find themselves noticing the facades. People see that, that's the front of the house. They recognise it. What they don't understand or know about is that behind there, in all those 3 stories, is 3 levels of services to make sure the facility operates. So that in the end, we had efficient movement of patrons who use the stations and the trains across 3 unique station typologies, being tunnelled, excavated and above ground. The Karanga-a-Hape station escalator is so long or high, being the 2nd tallest in the Southern Hemisphere, because the tunnels needed to pass underneath the ridge of Karanga-a-Hape and also go under the adjacent State Highway motorway.
As you walk through the space, you're surrounded by robustness, but at the same time a curvilinear kind of factor that gives it a sense of futurism. While the ceilings with its linearity and its graphic element give it a more modernist, if not contemporary feel.
Kia ora, my name's Chris Jack. I'm an architect and principal at Jasmax. At the platform level, those materials probably feel more machined. They're very much designed for a very considerable lifespan, for maintainability. They have a modular approach to the way that those materials are applied, as opposed to station entrances, and in particular the threshold and that those would be reflective of the stories of that particular station's place in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland.
I'm Reuben Kirkwood, Creative Director for Tiki Creative. I'm a kai whakairo, customary artist and designer, and a mana whenua appointed artist for Karanga-a-Hape Station. Karanga-a-Hape Station, the intent was to integrate the artworks into the fabric of the architecture and to convey matauranga Māori in a way that everyone can relate to. One key artwork is Me Te Waihorotiu, meaning like the full moon. This is located at the Beresford entrance into the station. This artwork essentially reflects the maramataka, the traditional Māori lunar calendar, and in particular to the sun's influence on the various phases of the moon and tides. The elements of this artwork include a golden aluminium sun, jewel-coloured wires that are interwoven through pito-shaped guides. These threads represent the incoming and outgoing tides. They culminate in hand-carved Cody discs which express 7 key phases of the moon. Another artwork is the vaulted ceiling within the main station entrance. Its name is Ko Tāne Pupuke, meaning Tāne rises up. This work is inspired by the pupurangi, which is the Cody snail. Interestingly, these large snails have the ability to create a whistling sound using their shell.
Te Waihorotiu station is in Auckland's midtown, with entrances on Victoria and Wellesley streets. Look up at the Wellesley Street entrance and 4,000 golden aluminium rods hang above the gate line. They're shaped to mimic the stems of reeds and the movement of water, creating a ripple lighting effect. Tucked into that bed of reeds is a carving of kauri finished with kauri gum varnish. It is the guardian of the stream, and it faces east, a warm welcome to those arriving and a gentle farewell to those leaving. Down at platform level, the language often reads as an international airport. There's movement and fluidity here. Concourse and platform are integrated into a single volume, stitched together by X-shaped concrete crossbeams suspended above the platforms. They're shaped to resemble reeds being woven together, a reference to the traditional weaving methods used to make food baskets. And the hammerhead shark representing strength and endurance, imprinted directly into the architecture. 7 skylights bring daylight down into the concourse and platforms. They represent the stars of Matariki, the cluster whose rising in the winter sky signals the Māori New Year. Three stations, one creation narrative, and more than a decade of collaboration between architects, engineers, and mana whenua. Whatever else the City Rail Link is, it is confirmation that this country can get big things done and get them done well.